chain smoke and I say fuck a lot. But I accept myself for the way I am. I accept you too. Viewer discretion advised.
Well, we've almost made it through this year. Today's December 31st, 2018. And before I start the new year, I have to let go of this year. And a lot of crazy shit happened this year. So I want to try to put it out in a nutshell, what happened, what ended up happening, and why I handled it the way I did, for clarity and just to leave it in this year. So I started on YouTube in February of 2017. And about a year later, after, getting a bunch of videos and stuff, I started noticing a channel called Mister Gunk, an Icelandic dude in Australia. And he made really good videos. Some of them were pretty similar to mine. One day on my way to work, and I would say probably in about early March of 2018, I get a tweet from Mister Gunk saying, we have a lot of similar subs and they think we should live stream together. So I hopped on his Discord live chat just for a few minutes, and I liked him. So I started doing it all the time. I even started posting from his website he gave me access to, fullysourced.com. May 1st, 2018, in the Discord, I get notice from his main moderator, Train, who also goes by No Fucks Given. And they locked Mister Gunk out of the Discord, and supposedly 2 years prior, he was messaging a 16-year-old girl.
I'm not going to read the messages, but there will be links to everything below, and yeah, they're pretty bad. And once he found out the messages were going to be public, he did a video explaining real quick and then deleted it, but somebody caught it.
For a short amount of time, when things were extremely flirty between us, I didn't know she was 15. And when I learned she was not over the age of 18, when I learned she was 15, I made it clear that nothing's going to happen between us. But I didn't put a stop to her sending me stuff. And I guess that is completely on me.
We had to go live with it. We had to get the info out no matter how bad it broke my heart. So we did that night. So on May 1st, 2018, we went live that night. It was myself, Doughboy, and Train, his moderator, and he told a story.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in tonight. My name's Brian Davis, aka Doughboy, Brian Kavika, whatever you want to call me. Tonight, you're obviously tuned into Mr. Jamie Dlux's channel. You're all very familiar with him. And then we also have Mr. No Fucks Given, aka Train, who is really going to be the I don't want to say centerpiece, but the main focus point on here, because he's really been the spearhead of this and is bringing this stuff to light. Let me say this before we even go on further at all. What we're about to talk about, I recently just joined the community we're about to talk about a few weeks ago, and I felt there was really good-hearted people there because my boy Jamie, I've known Jamie for a long time through J Noir and so on and so forth. And we're all fucking shocked. We're all fucking amazed. So we don't have the answers, but there are some things that need to get out there. I don't know, Jamie, if you want to say anything first, and then Train, you can go. But that's it for me for the moment.
Well, yeah, it's crazy times right now. No, we heard some bad news this morning. I think they found out last night, and I just really don't know what to do right now. I just feel sick to my stomach. So we just figure we get whatever, Train knows more than anything about it. So I guess we could just go with it, man. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say.
Okay, I guess I take the lead here then. As y'all know, I'm Train, aka No Fucks Given. I was Gunk's head mod on his Discord for the last couple of months. Mr. Gunk is a guy who worked on like conspiracy theories as far as pedogate and stuff in that range. He did one piece about a girl that died and that was murdered in Iceland a year or two back, and that really made him popular and grew his channel. So that's who he is in a nutshell, guys. Anyway. So I was a mod on his community. I consider him like a brother, guys. So this right here is like hurting me to actually have to tell this story, period. But I think everybody needs to hear it. what ended up happening was about a couple weeks back, he said something to a couple of mods that made us all question what his actual intentions were, and because of that, we started researching and figuring out why he was doing what he was doing. He said something about messaging a girl at the time who was 17, and he said that he had been messenger for 2 years, which means at the time that he started messenger, she was 15. So because of that, it made a couple of the mods immediately jump nervous and very like uneasy about the situation. So we just initially started searching about it, trying to make sure that it wasn't anything major. And the more that we searched, we found out more and more information about the situation, about how he met this person, how everything went down when they were in contact with each other, stuff like that. And so at a certain point, I had got enough evidence where I then reported it to several different agencies around the world that I know that all will be in their jurisdictions. But I continued to be his mod because I wanted to keep up appearances. I didn't need him to know that this was going on. So, and all the mods were hoping that it was just something that really wasn't what we thought it was. Well, today we talked to that person, and when we talked to that person, we were given all the DMs. And when we were given the DMs, we all knew that at that point it was no turning back. I can tell you one thing. I would say beyond a shadow of doubt, I know that this wasn't the only person he did it to.
I saw that he had made references within the text messages. Well, I'm going to wait. Then, I'm going to wait until you're 15 or until you're 18 or whatever. But then at the same time, if you're talking to people before they're 18 for numerous years and numerous people, are you not in a way grooming them? Is that any better than right? So is that any better than waiting until they're 18 and now they're groomed into your liking, as opposed to just going for it when they're not 18?
About 30 minutes in, Mr. Gunk came on to explain himself.
What's up, Mr. Gunk?
You know what? It's been a fucking rough day, rough night.
Yeah,
sure it has. This is super awkward, guys, obviously, for everyone. But go ahead.
Oh, of course it's fucking awkward, man. The way this was dealt with, I've just had like nearly all of my friends fucking abandon me for a day without even hearing my side of the story, and it's been really rough.
So that's why once you did, that's why, like I told everyone, but I want to say something before we even started. I told them, I said, look, I'm very new to the community. Just there's things that I saw, and that's why, like, I want you to say what you have to say. I have no preconceived conceptions or anything. So here's your opportunity,
You see, man, I'm the sort of person. I'll keep it real. I'm not gonna fucking lie about things, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. What happened, man? This all happened like when I was going through a really fucking dark time, man. It was like 3 years ago. I came out of a 9-year relationship. I met like this girl that like she was on Tinder and her age was 22. And what happened was like I don't know, I started speaking to her and it took her a while to like I honestly like don't know much about this girl. I've never had her on Facebook. I've never blah blah. But at some point she did reveal her age to me, and then at that point I put a stop to everything.
Mike, I'm stopping you there. You know we got all the messages, right?
Yeah, dude.
We got the ages. We got all that. So
yeah, let me
continue. We know you actually what you did. So don't come here and bullshit us, man.
I'm not bullshitting, man. And don't cut me off. Let me finish. Right. What happened with this girl? Okay. At this point in time, I was really depressed. My house fucking burnt down in Australia. My father had a heart attack. I just got out of a 9-year relationship. I was moving across. Like I just sold everything. This happened one night. And the very next night, like right after it, or pretty much, I spoke to her. Like I didn't initiate. I didn't initiate. I didn't start. I was always. People that have known me in my community know that I'm not a fucking horn dog. And I heard you talk about, say, this is going to continue. This was one of the hugest mistakes of my life, which I try to make amends for, man. I don't fucking care.
Here's the problem with what you just said, Mike.
Okay.
When you actually were going off on me about who you were DMing and stuff, do you not remember saying to me exactly, I have been messaging this person for 2 years. That wouldn't throw up my red flag.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to believe because she is super fucking promiscuous. Like, Mike, she initiated everything. No, wait, she
Mike, was. Whether she initiated it or not. Here's the thing. Here's the problem that you're having with this whole scenario. You're trying to write it off as one day. Everybody can see. I'm
trying to write it. I'm trying to write it off as one girl, man. No, but there's only one. There's only one day that.
No, it's not one day because if you read the messages, one of the messages say that you had sent stuff and you had been sending stuff for days, and sending nudes and stuff for days and stuff, and you wanted stuff from her.
I never asked for anything. That's a lie.
Mike, let me just go and tell you, we have whether you want to admit it or not, we have all the messages. I've turned over all the messages.
Can I jump in real quick? Because I just don't want it to go like back and forth and back and forth. From what I gathered, and this is from a real pretty much outsider, as most people know, there was a time when you did make a mistake. Of course, no one can control people sending them things, right? Like you can't control that. I get that, dude. No one's fucking saying any of that at all. But it seemed like, from what I've seen, unless they were doctored photos or something of that sort, it seemed like it continued after you knew the age of the female. Is this true or is this incorrect?
Well, I never really knew her age, man.
Bullshit. You said 16. How can a 16-year-old buy lube? And I would send you the actual fucking message if you.
I've seen the messages, man. Really hard to fucking remember what happened that long ago. I mean, she was talking things like that, man. She was asking, like,
no, that was your statement.
She said, she was like, I want you to take my virginity. I said, like, I can't do it. You're not 18 years old, and shit like that. And then she was like talking about stuff like this, and I'm
you know how many pedophiles say they shit,
but,
trying to cover their ass.
Let's get.
So how the fuck can it be?
No,
2 years ago?
She told me she was fucking 16, man.
There you go. Did everybody hear that?
Yeah. But she also told me she was 22.
Oh, no. So everybody, did you just hear what he said?
This is the thing. This is the exact thing. She came in and, like, you're trying to spin this like she was younger.
No, I'm not trying to spin it like younger.
No, yeah, when she came in, when I met her on Tinder, she was 22 years old.
I'm not denying that.
She was 22 years old in my mind for a longest period of time. And
nobody's denying that part. You do not get that. Nobody's denying that she told you a different age. But what we are saying is that you knew her age at the moment that you were sending the fucking messages that we got.
I'm not a fucking pedophile. I'm not sexually attracted to children, dude. I gave into pressure under depression and desperation, man.
Mike, do you not understand? You're using some of the same exact excuses that the people that you supposedly hunted used.
Oh, fuck, you guys can ask questions, man. I'm going to be fully transparent.
You want to know your age?
I'm not comfortable disclosing that right now.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair enough. Fair enough. That's fine.
And it just left me nauseous. Number one, I felt horrible. And number two, I felt like I would be a hypocrite if I didn't come out with the information. 2 days later, I get approached in Discord with paperwork dealing with Train. No fucks given. Turns out he is a sex offender convicted of child pornography.
Tonight we're joined by Death by Tiger and Wordman, as unfortunately the person who was on with us the other night, supposedly exposing pedophiles or whatever. Turns out there's information on that individual too. So,
all right, yeah. So I don't know. I don't even know how to bring this up. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Number one, it's crazy. Everything's crazy. So the whole thing with Gunk the other day. Well, it turns out Train, I feel used. I feel like Train manipulated me. Train is convicted. I don't know if you want to say alleged. I mean, is it alleged or what is it? What's the right fucking term?
He's a registered sex offender for possessing child pornography.
Child pornography. Train. 3 years in prison. Child pornography charges. Girl, 5-year-old. My God, deviant sexual intercourse.
But Train, for people asking in the chat, Train is no fucks given. It's the person who was on the stream with Jamie and I the other night and was, exposing Mister Gunk for his interactions with an underage child. And it was weird. I got a text or a message from a few different people the next morning after the stream that are more familiar with Mister Gunk and no fucks than I am, and we're like, did you think Train was acting weird when he was on the stream? And I was like, to be honest, man, I don't know, because I don't really know him or Mister Gunk as much as some of these other people do that are in his Discord. So you guys would have to let me know. And then I woke up this morning to a mug shot of possession of child pornography of Train, aka no fucks given, in Dallas, Texas, sentenced to 3 years. He did a plea deal 3 years ago. Would have been 2015. The file that he possessed was something that said a file named 2013 PTHC PTXX neighbor tweet action 1 girl 5 years old my god .mp4.
So the next day, I woke up and I was like, what the fuck just happened? Because I still really don't know why all this happened the way it did. So I made the videos private briefly, but the same day,
a friend of mine, V, from the Social Injustice Warrior channel, who I had already collaborated in a few videos with, he had me in a couple of his and I had him in one of mine.
So you think that about covers it?
Yeah, I think that'll do. Gary Glitter gonna die on the shitter. Hey dude, I think he shit himself over this fucking chair.
Walking around with his wiener hanging out of his pants, telling me somebody used wiener for penis. I didn't think people actually talk like that.
Asked me for access. So I made them unlisted and gave them the links. You can see that we did the live stream calling out Gunk on May 1st. The live stream calling out Train on May 3rd. I made them private on the 4th, and the same day, V did a live stream on the 4th, covering it all.
I guess I figured since I had the responsibility of having to handle this and go live, I didn't want the responsibility of the backlash or aftermath or anxiety that the comments would bring and all that. So I gave it to V. We were both at the time around 12,000 subs. And then I thought, well, the info's out there. I can move on. About a month or so later, I went ahead and published a Steemit article because I found all the links to the DMs and Train's paperwork. I had it all neat in a notepad on my phone. So I published it there so I could share it easy. Everything happened on my channel, and that was stress enough for me. I didn't want the responsibility of the aftermath. So I let V cover it all, and I figured the info would be out there. Well, I've been stuck in this gunk since May, and I want to start fresh.
Guess who I got a message from? Everyone's favorite pedophilic pedo hunter, Mister Gunk, or as he's currently known as, Fully Sourced. You see, for those of you just tuning in, Mister Gunk was a conspiracy theorist YouTuber and a pedo buster, which I'm now realizing could be interpreted in more than one way. He'd actively seek out information about Hollywood celebrities and attribute pedophilic behavior to them. Now, to be fair, there's a lot of videos he made with some really outstanding and resounding facts and evidence. However, there's plenty more he made that are really just a long stretch of the imagination, like a Mr. Fantastic type of stretch of the imagination. But hey, whatever gets views, right? News came out that Mr. Gunk was actually talking to someone he believed to be a 16-year-old girl, when he himself was in his 30s.
Fucking stoned.
I got a motherfucking spaceship. Oh, fuck. Oh,
I got it.